that all of you we should focus more onto agriculture. Now, if any breeder thinks has the best variety, it's fine. For you bring your sample, we shall subject yield, their resistance to diseases, all those. Then we compare with our varieties we have. If we like the attributes a variety has, automatically we go ahead and subject it to large production. That's how we do. For maize, we use mainly. For soya, they are open connected varieties, they are not hybrids. So what we do, we can plant soya even for over 20 years, as long as you are in position to maintain the qualities of each variety and avoiding the mixtures that it can, to avoid it getting mixed up with other varieties. But if we are in position to maintain a lineage of the variety, we maintain and call it home saved seed. We don't buy seeds for soya every season. But for maize, it's automatic. These are hybrids in which we know they lose viability with time. According to breeders, you may not know at which stage they introduced probably a killer gene that can eliminate that variety. The reason you find once you plant a variety for 2, 3, 4 seasons, you find even the cob is having empty grains. It means that variety, it has ceased out to be viable. So for us to avoid that, every season we plant new seed, new seed, new seed, new seed. After our seed selections, majority you might be using fertilizers, but I doubt that any of us think about doing soil testing. But the way we determine our rates of fertilizers we use in the field, it's based on the soil tests, the analysis we make, and determine that this soil lacks this, lacks this, lacks this. Each crop, it has its nutritional requirement. If I test the soil and I know I have 50%, it means I will only apply the 50% it requires. That is how we manage the nutritional requirements of a crop. We are after money, so it means we should not give excess, but we should give what is required. That is how we go about with the nutrition of the crop. Once it comes to general management, mainly the weeds and pests and diseases, as farmers, we assume that our jobs are full-time in farming. So it's good to always do the monitoring of your fields. Don't only plant and dump them. Anything can happen. Across all our 17,000 acres, at least each garden is visited once a week. So those monitoring reports are the ones we use to determine or to tell us what is required or what we need to do. However, we have our protocols where we know that probably after 17 days I'm supposed to do this. After 35 days I'm supposed to do this. After 60 days I'm supposed to do this. So we have a system that guides. Whether Didas is on ground, whether other bosses are on ground or not, they can easily track about almost how everything is moving on. Once it comes to weeds, mainly we use chemicals. We don't weed. We don't weed. We use chemicals. Same as control of pests and diseases. Mainly chemical controls. We don't go biological, we don't go culture, we don't do any other control other than applications. The chemicals we use are the certified ones. Those ones are not accepted by the government laws and those illegal ones we also don't use. However, we also subject them to different trials. It's not like each and every herbicide you will bring, we shall spray, no. We also see the performance. If I have a bush and I want it in, let's say, in 14 days to be down, is your herbicide able to do that? If it's not, it means it will not favor me. Automatically we eliminate. That's how we also test these chemicals. Across everything, they are machines. So it means even in spraying, it's a sprayer that sprays. The calibration and maintaining the rates of what we are, how we are supposed to spray, all of them are automated in the machines. Our machines are standard, they are able to do that. And even us, even when we are somewhere, as long as you have systems I can enter, I can see what is happening across all our farms. So for weeds, that's how we do. We have the non-selective chemicals, which you people know, the weed masters. I'm using it simply because you may understand what it does, but there are other chemicals that are substitutes to those non-selectives, which we also use. After crop has germinated, we also have other chemicals we use, the selective ones. So for maize, we have those ones specifically that weed maize, and even in soybean, we have those ones that weed soybean. And that's how we spray, we determine our rates and progress like that. Same as pests. It's not like each and every time someone tells me that he has seen a worm in the maize that he will run and spray. No. We have also selections, the number. It means if we say that 10 is okay, it is okay. But if it exceeds 15, no, it means probably they are increasing. We need to control. That's how we control, that's how we control. So imagine we have taken care of the crop, it has matured, now it comes to harvest. It's also done mechanically. We have machines specifically for maize, and we have machines specifically for soybean and margarine. And we just dispatch them to the field, do our settings, and they do the harvesting. After harvesting, we have different processing facilities. We have factories. We have one here alongside Asili. We have around Acholi. We have a factory there. We have another one in Nile. So those are the factories or the processing facilities we have. So whether it is soya, whether it is maize, we are able to process and even sell at the right time when prices are favoring, and if they are not favoring, we store them until we see that here we can move on. So briefly, it's what we do. You understand? So I think I have summarized everything. So probably if there are questions, probably we can answer 1, 2, 3 questions. Then we'll see what next.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
For this overview. Now, when you've seen some goats around there, you have not talked about the goats.
Yes.
Some of us may be having interest in.
And we keep them around, and every Saturday we also enjoy. If you came late, it means there is no chance for you. So we will not talk more about them, but we have them. We have a department, we have a vet person who treats them, who takes care of them, and his team. So we have it there.
But we wanted also to keep for eating.
As for the
In the
goats,
school, we'll get to
Yes.
to give us the techniques.
Let's now first concentrate on crops.
But can members buy some of your good breed?
Yes. That is, we also bring in new breeds. We also sell off some. It's not like you can find every month you can register maybe 15 birthdays, but you find you can only eat 10. So automatically a number shoots in. So it happens, you come, you say, they sell, you take. It's possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, well done. My question is, you say you are using variety of methods, especially for spraying, choosing chemicals and the rest. Is there some foresighting that some of the chemicals you use does not have effect on the land? Because I see that there are places where when you use the same type of fertilizer on the land, after some years, 10 years, 5 years, you will never get proper yield from such kind of land. Do you experience that and why?
If I could also ask you, does after 5 years, is it because of only chemicals or? But let's now look at the general view of everything. Okay. These chemicals are supposed to be specific. That is one. These chemicals are supposed to be environmentally friendly. Once we talk about the environment and all those, we are looking at biodegradable items. Those ones that do not leave any residues in the what? In the environment. All those chemicals are okay. Secondly, if we go also into the formulas of these chemicals, I can guarantee you that these are the normal things we have every day. If you look at with the master, the one you talk about, another person can use another word that it is a glyphosate. But don't be surprised that the NPK, which you also apply as a fertilizer, it has the other phosphate as well. So the reason also you see, whenever we apply even some chemicals, like some herbicides, don't be surprised even to find that some people say that some chemicals have some fertilizer. So they are supposed to be having those attributes. And also, why we have rates is just to minimize excessive use. If someone has told you that you should take only 1 tablet of Panadol, why take 3? You get it? So the rates, the way we use the chemicals matter most. But still, we have controls. Even when I tell you like that, you can as well have very many questions. But we have some controls, which we also keep monitoring. For me, I talked about like we do soil testing. The fertilizer rates we use based on the soil tests we do, the analysis. Every year we do it once. Why we do the soil analysis is to see the changes that are happening in these soils. As we harvest season after season, if I had a certain percentage of nitrogen in the soil without applying a certain fertilizer, does it change? If I had a 40% after 5 years, have I increased it to 45? I have reduced to 20. If I have reduced to 20, it means for sure I'm not maintaining the quality of what? Of the soil. So to me, I think that is where the issue is. Secondly, we do a lot of tests. We do also the water analysis. So it means at the end of it, as we spray, we find all these chemicals can end up in what? In these water reservoirs. So if I can look at water that are stagnant in some swampy areas of the farm, I get samples. I also come to the other main pump. I collect sample, but all samples produce same results. The clean and the dirty ones. It means it helps us to control. So that is how we.
Yes.
That is how we control. You get it? So, to me, I don't accept that usage of these items really affect the quality of the soil. But how we use these items is what affects the quality of quality of soil and all those.
I wanted to say something. Yeah, thank you so much, Gava. You talked of over, is it 15,000 acres under crop cultivation. You didn't tell us the extent, the acreage. And then it too.
I'm not getting there.
I'm saying the entire farm, how many acres? Total?
This one?
Yes.
No, Asili farm.
Asili farm.
That is the total,
Yes.
which we plant every season.
Yeah.
6,000 hectares, if you multiply by 2.5, it brings me 15,000 acres, which I talked about.
Yeah, and then thank you. And then too, I've seen you are doing a very good work. You said you are up to Amuru. Then three, you didn't tell us whether Asili is an individual, a company, and maybe how you acquired this land. Whether there is any prospect to some of us who would also want to come as and the shareholders and the outgrowers and do that. Because I remember some of us when we were so small, there used to be whites. Is it whites or Palestinian something? They used to call this place Palestinian farm. So I don't know whether it is still the Palestinians or the government. We needed to know so that when we give us a background,
yes,
like some, you see these are teachers, others teach history, how it has come to this level, we also want to have interest. Then three, this is a very big establishment, like its contribution to the economy, because one, you said there is over 2,000 women doing some work there. There is engineering plant, this and that. So that when we go back, it may not only help us from the knowledge we have given, but how we can translate it into class, how Asili has come to this level, so that even the learners may take interest. We are not only agriculture teachers who may pick interest in the combine, the word, the soil science, and that. But what we want is to use the knowledge. For instance, we have this, it was not in their time, the lower secondary curriculum, which basically teaches skills. Because tomorrow, when you tell a child, you are again using combine harvesters. If he is not an engineer, this mechanics and that, will have no direction. So how can a child who may not achieve in this area also utilize this knowledge? Because I see here, you said your operations, I don't know where now can be applied here, because we expected maybe a spokesperson, this and that. So otherwise, it is a very good job.
Okay. Now, Asili Farms is a private-owned company. How it's acquiring land is also privately owned in Uganda. We can be poor, but other people are completely rich, and people have land. Where we are here, if you look at the history, I think it was a government land here, and even it was the barracks, this area. After privatization, investors also took over some of government lands that existed. If you are to look at the whole of Kiryandongo, I think we have very many ranches. It is only Kiryandongo that had at least a lot of government land. So this initially, after the barracks was taken over by Mukwano, and Mukwano, if you can see around here, I think you could have seen palm trees and all. So Mukwano was here, and we leased from Mukwano also. So it means Mukwano is our tenant, like we are the tenants of Mukwano, because his lease was still ongoing. And across almost all farms, that's how we are doing. However, we cannot also eliminate the hands of government. Even when the government would come looking for successful farmers, trust me, they will first look at those ones who understand agriculture as well. we are likely to be the first beneficiaries than a starter. At least they would use someone who is somewhere to pull a starter. You understand? But it's just a private-owned company, and once it comes to government things, a lot of connections we do with the government so that we exist. But as a company, it's a private-owned.
Can you tell us the products, the maize? Do you always sell the maize as maize grain?
Yes, yes,
The
yes. We don't
soybean,
mill.
The soybean.
We process and sell the grain the way it is. It goes to different clients. The milling section targets us in the farm for food, but we don't do milling as a business of Asili.
The one in Masindi is not yours, the one that names in Masindi.
Yes, but it's not on extensive, it is not on large milling for sale, no.
It's another crop we talked about.
Ours.
It looks a bit different from
Maybe
soybean.
is Choroko. Then
It's
once I
called
talk
mud
about
bean?
yeah,
Because when we were coming, I saw the photo, I said that one is called Choroko, but we didn't know the name in the English.
yes. So now, once you talk about how we benefit a lot, even when I'm from Barara, I'm a Ugandan, but I'm earning a salary from the company. This one is the Muchope. It's also earning from here. You get almost everyone. So instead of all of us running to district commissions and that we want jobs and all those, this one also helps. You understand? We have looked at those ladies, direct or indirectly. Many people are depending on them. Besides that, we also, this is a recognized company. It means even the taxes we pay. You understand? The NSSFs we pay. People who are borrowing from NSSFs also, we have our money there as well. So generally a lot of benefits. The way you have also come here, still other people are also coming here. The people might have come as visitors, but there are those scholars which really require this knowledge, and even practitioners, the real farmers. We always have farmers' days. These farmers come, they also have a chance to visit our fields. What we have talked about, they also see and probably see, is it a reality or it's not. So somehow, this one, the department is from extension. We also have other programs that target farmers, where we can give seed, where we can give fertilizer, where we can give such guidances. So we also have such departments. So that is how the communities and even the nation can benefit out of it. Me being in our operations, I think it depends. I did the science in agriculture, that is my bachelor's, but I have other additionals, but that is what I did. So I think I'm also in my career. So it means, yeah, only that things change, but this is real agriculture.
But we are coming for boats for each.
Maybe the other thing before we move into, I know we are going to the machinery now, is for us as West Nilers to visualize a company made by you. We are retiring from this service. You've been in West Nile for this long. This trip, by the way, is all about bonding.
Yeah.
It's all about bonding. So we can also think, how can we own? And they say the once head teachers of this region at some point never came up and started something big. And you can also acquire land the way you say. You can find ways of acquiring land. And it doesn't have to be in the center of Arua, but outside, and you come up.
So I have a very important
Now,
question.
Let's ask then we shift
My
to this
question is on the cost-benefit analysis. With all this machinery, are they economically viable? In other words, I'm looking at the profitability. Two, what is the productivity of an acre, for example, for maize. If I'm getting interested in the participating in this form of agriculture, like the way you're doing, what's the tonnage, for example, per acre, so that we have a picture. You know, even if you're starting, you need to know how much you're likely to make at the end.
Okay, now let me start with the first question. Understand? It started in 2013. So it means we are making 10 years. Or we have made 10 years. I think, yeah, December, we should be making 10 years. When we started, I think they had around probably 600 acres only. We are hiring machines. But if you ever want to see the benefit of a business as you progress to large scale or large operations, even your profit margin increase. However much you need higher investment, not so. So these machines, yes, it's not a one-day investment. Even now, just in April, when we brought in 3 new combines. So it means it's not like we brought all these machines at once, no. As we expanded, one leads to another, one leads to another, one leads to another. You have found them here specifically because we are off-season. Off-season, it means we are not harrowing, we are not planting, we are not spraying, we are not harvesting. What these machines have, what they do, and it's required. It means you cannot operate without those machines. So here now we are here at workshop simply because we are undergoing repairs of all our machines as we prepare for next season. You get it? Once I come to profitability, for a meantime I have been probably running all these programs. To me, I say that the breakthrough, you always have a breakthrough, or the threshold, you should never go below. Now, let me use our tactics we use. Now, one is that if our target population is 52,000 plants, I think majority might be knowing that in an acre you plant 10 kgs, but you may not be knowing exactly how someone comes to 10 kilograms. 10 kilograms is just from a number of holes you have planted in an acre. Someone knows that he has probably 20,000 holes in an acre, and he also knows the average of each grain. So he gets 20 times average of the grain to get the kilograms you have planted in an acre. Now, these machines are, you have seen them, they are standard machines. It means we have sensors, seed sensors, we have the monitors, how you are planting. Now, if our target population is 52,000 plants in a hectare, let's say, that is in 2.5 acres, which makes it 23-25 kgs per hectare. It means we plant. Should it happen that at day 12, germination has happened, and I have a 22 or a 25 from the other, from a 52, we neglect the field. We don't take care of that field. What does it mean? If you ever do agriculture, your investment should never exceed 50% of your investment. So it means if my population target is halfway at germination, it means all the costs I will incur past seed fertilizer, it means that the general want me to calculate here, trust me, I will still be between 40 to 50% my costs. And now the profit margin is always the 50%. However, what we also don't give a lot of attention is the maximization of yield. Currently, us as a company, our target is 6 tons and above per hectare, or per 2.5. That is an average of around 2,300 kilograms per acre. That is the 2.3 tons per acre. those are around 20 bags per acre. Trust me, whether you have low yields, whether you have high yields, you will not, you still incur same costs in maintaining an acre. You have understood? So it means for us, that is where we want. If I have planted, if it is seed, I will not plant seed until germination tests from different 3 certified laboratories bring results. We shall do our germination test as a company. We shall get Chemify, it does its what? It does its laboratory. If I get a 92% germination percentage, one has gotten a 94, the other one has gotten a 90. I have an average of 91. I'm not scared of seed I have in the store. It means I go ahead and do what? And plant. We have a very sounding department which we rely most, whether it's our boss or not, as long as that person decides that no, this is not right, you close operations until you correct it. That one helps us to maintain the quality of plantings and all this. So for us, population matter most. The fertilizer application, you need to monitor. You find someone has said that we need to apply maybe 125 kilograms of NPK. But how do you maintain that for sure it is 125 being applied? If I achieve that, automatically I can never have a crop that looks miserable. That is how we maintain so that we get high what? Yes. For you, an acre, whether you spend 400 in an acre and I get 20 bags, for you spend 400 and get 10. Those are your problems. For you, we only have a profit of 3 bags, to me I have 13 bags. You understand? Secondly, we use machines. Trust me, for you a cost of planting an acre, it can go probably 25. But for me, it can go as low as 7,000. It means only one operation, which is an activity just of planting 1 acre. To me, I'm saving what? I'm saving like 10,000. If I have maybe 17,000 acres, I already saved like 1.7 billion for you. Are already in your losses like that. So even when I start calculating, I still come to at least that difference. If there was no money, still. Also, let's also keep praying that prices fail. A person who harvested very well last year season of December and maize was at 180. You can never eliminate him from farming. You can never, and he has good yields. A person who was selling probably a kilo of maize at 1,800, and he has an acre which he got 2,300 kgs. A person who is getting 4.1 from 1 acre. So you have to utilize such opportunities that come around. And besides that, never carry all your eggs also in one basket. For you are concentrating on maize,